Okay, so welcome back to Bville Live. I'm Christina Neal, your host. All right, it's Thanksgiving Day. The crunch is on. Company's already started to arrive, and I'm not finished prepping yet. So I'm going to take a shortcut. I didn't get my sweet potatoes peeled and boiled like I thought I was, but I always keep backup. So I have 2 cans of canned potatoes, and my son's fiance just arrived from the airport. He went and picked her up, so she's getting settled upstairs, putting her stuff away. So I got to get this moving. Okay, that's because I was shooting videos all morning instead of cooking. Okay, so I drained my potatoes. I put them in here. Okay. Now, the advantage to using these is, let me get a spoon, is they're already cooked. So I don't have to peel, I don't have to cook. And you know what? Some years you just have to take shortcuts, and nobody knows the difference unless you tell them, so don't tell them. Okay, so, you know, when I first got married, I made every single thing from scratch. But as I get older, I do take shortcuts. It's just part of life, you know. Some people get their Thanksgiving dinners at the grocery store, so I think I'm doing pretty good. All right, so sweet potatoes are in here. The other ingredients you're going to need are pecans and marshmallows. Okay, so I'm not going to add a lot of things in here like fat because I'm trying to keep the calorie content down, trying to lose weight, and I don't want to blow it all on Thanksgiving Day. So I'm going to smash the sweet potatoes down into the casserole bowl, and I'm not using a beater, I'm just using a hand mixer. The more things that you do by hand, the better off you are. Burns calories. We're going to be eating a lot of calories today, so if I can burn like 5 calories mashing potatoes, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so the advantage to using the canned ones is it's real quick, real easy. That took me, what, like 3 minutes? Okay, they're in there like that. That's all you need to do. All right. Give it a quick stir to make sure you don't have any lumps. And even if you do, it doesn't matter because this the casserole is kind of lumpy anyhow. So, okay, so I smooth it down to make a flat surface on it. I put it in a casserole dish with a lid, because I want it to melt. I don't want it to get burnt. You can take the lid off for the last few minutes so it doesn't burn. Okay, so that's what it looks like. I flatten it down. Then I take my pecans. Again, I'm taking a shortcut. I got chopped pecans. Running out of time, so I'm going to sprinkle this all across the top. One that away. Pecans are very healthy. Nuts are good in your diet. They do have fat content. But that kind of outweighs it. I like to put a lot of nuts in because the nuts are good for you. Okay, so marshmallows. Doesn't matter if they're old or not. They're all going to melt, so it doesn't matter. If you have fresh ones, great. I have some that are probably a little bit past their time. That's just the perfect way to get rid of them. Okay, so I think these are pretty much all stuck together, which is fine. I'm just going to pull them out of the bag. If you have the big ones, use scissors and cut them into 4 sections. If you have the little ones, you're just going to put them in here and just kind of blob them on the top. And, you know, the thing is with these is they don't need to be perfect because it's all going to melt. One of the things my son always tried to get when he was going to Hershey Park was a sweet potato that was stuffed with marshmallows and pecans. So we went twice in 1 year, and both times they were sold out. So he always asked me if I could make them for him. I haven't in 2 years, so this year I'm making them because we're in a new place. Okay, so it looks like that, and that's going to go in the oven. So I'm not going to put it in the oven now. I'm going to wait to put it in, probably after I take my turkey out, because it doesn't take that long. This is already cooked. So I'm just going to put this over here on stove. So as I said earlier, my corn's ready, my greens are ready. That's my sweet potato casserole. Next thing I'm going to make is my stuffing, and then I can sit down and enjoy my company. Hey, welcome to Bville Live. I'm going to teach you how to make some Thanksgiving stuffing in a hurry. Okay? Now, if you're good, you got all your prep work done ahead of time. I got most of my stuff done. My pies are baked. My greens were done this morning. My sweet potato casserole is waiting to go in the oven. The corn is waiting to go in the microwave. I got everything done except for my stuffing. Okay, so you can cheat and just go out and buy this and put it in a bowl, and it'll taste kind of bland. Or you can cheat and kind of make it homemade. Nobody will know the difference, okay? Except if they watch this YouTube video. So, what do I need? piece of celery, piece of carrot, and onion, okay? Normally when I make my stuffing, I take old bread that I've had in the freezer, the crust and whatnot, I throw it in the stuffing and make it from scratch. I used to use a pound of scrapple in it years ago, but since my husband passed away from heart disease, I don't do that anymore. So instead of throwing out all of the old traditions, I do have a piece of scrapple that I had in the freezer. We do eat it sometimes, occasionally, once a year. My son's fiance loves it, so I'll make it for her. But I had a piece left over that I hadn't eaten, and I'm going to add that because that's going to add flavor for me and make it taste like it's homemade. So I'm slicing up the carrots. Remember I told you when you slice celery and carrots, you want to follow the natural design. So you follow the ribs, slice down, 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 and then across, and that's going to be your base, okay? Now, you can saute this in a pan, which would require oil, but I'm in a hurry because my company's already arrived and I really got to get cooking because I want to sit down and spend time with them and enjoy them, and I want to put out some hors d'oeuvres and have some wine, and you know, if you drink the wine, forget it, you're not going to be able to cook straight. So I don't drink much, so one glass, that's it. So cut off the ends of your onion. Okay, remember, do not put the stalks of celery in the garbage disposal. It will clog it up. Remember, garbage disposal is just made for little scraps off the table. And the last thing you need is clogged sink on Thanksgiving Day when you have a bunch of company and you have food and you got to get dishes cleaned. Not happening. So just remember to just throw everything in the trash, and don't throw gravy or grease down the garbage disposal. Okay, it's one thing I always tell my tenants: nothing goes down there except for whatever is scraping off the plate. Don't use it. Okay. Same thing with banana peels. Don't put them down the garbage disposal. Okay, so let's chop that onion up real quick. Okay, and I'm gonna, since I'm using the scrapple, I'm not gonna put the butter in the stuffing mix like it calls for. You know, again, I want to try and trim some of those fat calories. You don't really need it. It's really to soften it. And since I'm going to be putting some scrapple and some turkey sausage in there, I'm not going to bother. Okay, so I put this in here. Sometimes the celery doesn't break up all the way. Just break it up with your hands. Wipe the hands off. Okay, I'm going to pop this in the microwave for a couple minutes. I would say about 2 minutes should be fine. You just want to try to take the hardness of the vegetable off. Okay, and then I'm going to take my scrapple, and I have like 2 turkey sausages. Stuffing is a good time to get rid of your extras that you have laying around. One of the things that I'm going to do to stretch this stuffing a little bit is I do have some crust that I like to add in the freezer. So I'm going to add that to the stuffing mix and the water to it, and that'll be pretty much it. I'll pop it in the oven at the end and call it a day. Okay, so let me get my bread crust. Now, one of the things, people love my stuffing, and they don't know what I put in it. Now they do, they'll probably never eat it again. But, I mean, it's all healthy stuff. I use, like, pumpernickel, I use rye bread, whatever I have left over in my freezer. I freeze my bread because a lot of times I buy my bread at the outlet, or I buy it and I don't use it. And I keep all the heels of the bread. If I don't give it to the birds down the shore, then it goes to my guests on Thanksgiving. Okay, nothing goes to waste. Okay. So while those vegetables are cooking, I'm going to cut this bread up into chunks. And this is the other thing that's going to kind of fool your guest into thinking that it's all from scratch. Okay. And you don't have to use the stuffing mix. I just happen to have it. Like I said, I keep it on hand in case I run into a jam like this where I'm behind. Or, you know, you run out of stuffing and you're having leftovers and people always want stuffing. You know, you can just use a box of that. Plus it was on sale, so I bought it if it's on sale. Okay, so This is frozen. You can let it out to thaw a day ahead of time. It doesn't matter. Okay, we get that out of the microwave. Okay. It's going to be hot, so be careful. Okay. See? That's my onion, celery, and carrots, one of each. I'll put the recipe on the end of the video. Okay, I put my frozen bread in there, and that's going to thaw pretty quick with those hot vegetables. I'm not adding any butter or fat to this. That one piece of scrapple is going to have more than enough fat, and that's all you need. You really want to watch fat calories. Fat's not good for your heart. So, like yesterday, I had a piece of shoe fly pie. I skipped lunch. Not a great way to diet, but I figured the 400 calories for the pie, that was a lunch. And that was good because I didn't gain anything yesterday. And I wanted to make sure that, I wasn't going into Thanksgiving, heavier than I was. And I want to make sure I don't gain any weight because I'm trying to lose weight. So we'll see how that goes. So as you chop this, just throw it into the bowl. And my cranberry sauce is already in the fridge. I forgot cabbage, so I'm not making my famous coleslaw. But, oh well, probably be the first year I didn't do it. It got out of my mind, so I didn't do it. Okay. Alright, so that's in there. The only other thing I need to chop up are these sausages. And I just happen to have two breakfast sausage links. I bought them. Nobody was that wild about them, so I threw them in the freezer. And instead of throwing them out, I figured I'd just chop them up and put them in the stuffing, because that's basically what the stuffing is. It's just kind of a mixture of everything. So I have my vegetables in there for a little bit of meat. Now you can put your giblets in there, like your liver and stomach and whatnot, but I give it to the dog. I'm not real wild about using it anymore, mainly because the antibiotics in the feed. I don't think it's super healthy to consume, but it does give my dog a treat. Okay, and then the same thing with the sausage. The sausage is pretty soft, so it's going to kind of mix in there with the rest of the stuffing mix. So just go ahead and chop it up like that. Throw it in your mix. Okay, like that. And always clean up as you go along. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so that's everything that you need in there. Next, I'm going to open this up. Throw in the rest of the breadcrumbs in the mix. Okay, as you can see, it wouldn't have been nearly enough for them. But it's got the seasonings and flavors, it cuts time. Okay, so like I said, I'm not going to add the butter, but I am going to add the water. So it does call for 1.5 cups of water, and it calls for half a stick of butter. We're going to skip the butter. I'm going to add my 1.5 cups of water. I know it calls for hot water, but it's going to get heated up anyhow, so I'm not too worried about it. Now, one of the other things I am going to add to this is an egg. My mother used to add an egg to it. It helps everything adhere together, so I get an egg. So I just throw the egg in there. You can add more than one egg, but again, trying to keep the calorie count down. Alright, and then you're going to give it a good stir, and that's pretty much it. Now, if you find you don't have enough moisture with just the one egg and that 1.5 cups of water because of the extra bread, you just add some more water to it, okay? And then I'm just going to let this sit about an hour before my turkey's done. I'm going to put it in the oven with the turkey. Because the sausage and the scrapple is already pre-cooked, it doesn't need to cook a long time. And since this looks a little bit on the dry side, I am going to add probably another cup of water. Now, if you added the butter, you wouldn't need to add that extra water. But like I said, I'm just trying to cut down on the fat and the calories, and it'll taste just as good because of all the seasoning. And it also cuts down on the salt per serving if you add the extra vegetables and the bread. And that looks great. It looks like it's homemade, handmade stuffing, which basically it is, with, you know, a little bit of help. Okay, and I'll show you the finished product at the end of the day. Thank you.